We have some of the biggest news coming out today. Brad Garlinghouse makes a huge announcement, a groundbreaking announcement from Ripple. Also, Crypto Eerie put out something that could be huge that talks about smart contracts coming to the XRP ledger. Plus, David Schwartz says 97% of institutions are interested in crypto and think crypto is the future. 97% of institutions, that's where all the money is. You want to watch this entire video. If you miss it, you are going to miss out. Let's get into the information. From Brad Garlinghouse, with programmability in the works on the XRP ledger, something in the XRP ledger community has rightly been asking for, and the growing opportunity for Ripple's enterprise products to serve crypto native customers such as future using Ripple's custody. The foundations of crypto infrastructure serving real-world use cases are steadily becoming a more robust day. And it talks about here, Ripple is on the ground in the week of Korea and Japan, starting off with a few keynote announcements, all in service of the goal of strengthening the foundation of the crypto infrastructure and support of blockchain utility and usability for institutional adoption, guys. We need institutions in, we need that money. And here is the Futureverse ecosystem. Futureverse features Warner Brothers Music. I mean, it's insane. Look at this. Warner Brothers, Reebok, FIFA, right? Cool Cats. You have some of the craziest names on here. Warner Brothers, Warner Music Group, right? And I'm sure there's others here that I'm probably, passing up, but it's all good. But it's just truly insane how big the Futureverse ecosystem is. Let me play this for you too. Also, the shocking truth about the XRP price.
This is what David Schwartz, the creator of XRP, has to say about when XRP will move big.
What do you think the relation is between the price of XRP and the success of Ripple?
It's very hard to understand the way prices behave. I think what's happening right now is at least the market doesn't seem to distinguish very much between the attributes of particular projects. It seems like they're sort of betting on the space as a whole.
Speculation.
Like if you look at the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin and XRP and Stellar Lumens and Litecoin, they correlate incredibly well with each other. If people saw them as competitive, if people said like Bitcoin and Litecoin and XRP are competing for the same use case, you would think that good news for Bitcoin would be bad news for XRP or Litecoin, and the market doesn't seem to think so. So I think the bet right now is kind of either cryptocurrencies are going to take over the world or they won't. And if they take over the world, they might all be winners or they might be winners and losers, but we don't really know who those will be yet. And so we're sort of betting on the space as a whole. And I guess the same thing could have happened in search in the early days. Like Google was in search, but so was Lycos and Excite and AltaVista and G's. And if you thought, I really think search is going to be the next big thing, okay, well, could you have picked Google? Probably not. Like you might have sort of spread your bets around the space or sort of hoped that they would all win. Or even if you thought there would only be one winner, you wouldn't think that you could predict it. But it's also possible that prices are completely irrational and manipulated. I don't know, and it's kind of frustrating that I think anyone who tells you they know is lying.
True.
It's great when like amateurs will tell you, hey, I understand exactly what's going on. Here's my thesis, and the experts will tell you we have no idea what's going on. But there are a lot of spaces where if I knew, I'd be rich, right? Like I would just be able to bet on the winners and or predict the way the news is going to affect the price. I'm constantly surprised by market behavior, so I don't pretend to know.
But do you think in the long term that the intrinsic value of XRP should be tied to the success of Ripple, or can they be completely independent?
I would expect it to tie to the success of the ecosystem, which would include projects
Builders
like Ripple and Forte and Coil. But I don't know how rational that expectation is, or whether the price follows rational expectations. It's quite difficult to tell. Again, at least for the last year or so, the performance of every major cryptocurrency doesn't seem to relate. An interesting point is like the only events that have been proven to be correlated with the price of cryptocurrencies is exchanges. So like there used to be the Coinbase effect, like when Coinbase would list a cryptocurrency, you would see a huge spike in its price. And then you would see team news, whether it comes from things that Ripple are doing or things that Consensus is doing or other major projects, and there's no movement in the price. So either people think exchanges are like the gatekeepers of success of the ecosystem, or the prices are irrational. I don't know. I wish I did. Like it's something that we look at and try to understand, and we basically keep throwing our hands up. It's actually pretty frustrating.
Understand this, guys. We're in a speculation market still. We're not in a full utility market, right? Once we get to a full utility market, I don't even know what the prices of these cryptocurrencies are going to be. They're going to be truly insane, right? You have people like Raoul Pal, you have the Jeremy Allaire, right? Thinking that the crypto market could be $100 trillion or more, right? Over the next 5 to 10 years, which is insane. right? Which is truly, truly insane. Here you go. Crypto Eerie putting out the biggest partnership between USDC by Circle and SBI Holdings Japan highlights the strategic role of stable coins in the financial ecosystem. In my opinion, this is foreshadowing the upcoming use cases for the Ripple stablecoin. Thank you, Crypto Eerie.
The fact that the central banks and the regulators in all of the biggest financial market centers in the world are actively putting in place prudential regulations for stablecoin issuance and operation is a big deal. We're partnering with lawmakers, regulators, central banks to construct the framework that makes these fungible digital currency units work. The same thing is coming in Japan, where they actually have like a foreign currency stablecoin framework and a whole reserve model. So USDC can be reserved for Japanese holders. So basically you're seeing all these governments stand up these frameworks, and it's a really exciting thing because we're building the internet financial system.
As for the partnership with Circle, a US company, for stablecoins, we also reached a basic agreement on November 21st of last year. Our group also has a bank, which is...
So this is an AI talking about what Yoshitaka Katao, that's the gentleman on the left, who basically runs everything in Japan. That's what he's talking about here.
Is the SBI Bank. In addition, electronic payment methods, trading operations, assets under application, high-price traders, and all of these things must be in place to do this business. We will be the only company with a significant license to handle stablecoins. Then, Circle, Inc., backed by cash and cash equivalents in the United States, will release USDC, the second most stable coin after USD Tether. We would like to buy, sell, acquire, and do other things with USDC in the form of dollars in Japan, in compliance with Japan's high regulations, and we plan to do this in any case.
That's huge for Circle, and I bet you Ripple's right behind. And then here you go, David Schwartz on stablecoins, the growth of tokenization assets by 16 trillion forecasted by 2030.
That I was talking about and what's going on right now. And one of the places where you can see that the most easily, I think, is with stablecoins. The current market cap of stablecoins is around $160 billion, and it's growing so rapidly that that number is, it's going to be obsolete by in months. It's expected to grow to almost $3 trillion by 2028. And this is the next statistic is, I think, the most important one. Remember, I was talking about bleeding over into popular culture. It's great if everybody in the Bitcoin space thinks Bitcoin's great. If everybody in the crypto space thinks cryptocurrency is going to take over. Everyone in the DeFi space thinks DeFi is going to be the next big thing. What about people outside the space? 97% of institutional investors believe that tokenization is going to significantly affect asset management.
97% of institutional investors, guys. That's 3% think nothing's, that crypto's garbage. But 97% of the people with all of the money in the world think that crypto is the future. Do you understand how big that is? Do you understand we are at the starting gates of something truly incredibly I want to be a billionaire by 50. That's 10 years, right? The only way that I'm going to do that is to get ahead of the knowledge, get ahead of the technology and understand it and invest in it early and own the assets central banks are going to use, period, end of story. That's how I'm going to do it, right? You might have your own plan. Maybe you want to open up a popsicle shop or whatever it is, or GoFundMe. I don't care what you want to do, but I am looking at the technology because that is where the money is going.
These are people who they're not Bitcoin people, they're not crypto people, they're not blockchain people, they're not DeFi people, they're institutional investors. These are some of the most conservative people in the world, right? And they think that the technologies that we're building are going to revolutionize their industry. That is that bleed over into popular culture. The market value of tokenized US securities alone is 1.5 billion. This is a new space. So that is gonna, that number is probably different by the time I get off this stage. And of course, the growth of tokenized assets, $16 trillion forecast by 2030.
I bet it should be higher.
I think that's probably going to be conservative.
Yep.
It just makes sense to get into these spaces. If DeFi spaces and tokenized spaces are where the investors are going to be or where the money is going to be, that's got to be where the assets are, right? The assets are going to chase the money.
Understand the treasury market is trillions of dollars, right? That's all coming on chain. And let's guess where some of that's going to go. Of course, the XRP ledger. All right, so this is from Black Swan Capitalist. He's right. They said this guy's right. They wanted to focus on Bitcoin while governments and financial institutions quietly integrate XRP.
None of this makes sense on the surface. And when something doesn't make sense on the surface, there's usually a good reason why the designers of this currency don't want it to make sense on the purpose. Yep. So we can look at the details of what they say. They say it's to facilitate BRICS trade. Well, again, trade channels, they say the key highlight is that it's the gateway for the BRICS trade. But again, who owns and manages this new currency? Will it only be government officials that manage it? Or what I suspect is private individuals who set up this fund on a consignment from the government, acting on their own, and the government has to leave the management to these non-government officials.
Guys, I've spent years of my life dedicated to trying to educate you. If you want to support the channel, there's a way that you can do it down in the description. You can either join my community for free. We have a free 30 days where we're talking about all of this information, plus a ton of crypto alpha from all across the world. If you want information before retail has it, that's the place to go, Cryptonaires. Also, I do have a partnership with Crypto Lids. You can buy an XRP t-shirt, some fly gear. Take a look down in the description. Biggest news for me from Crypto Eerie says expanding programmability on the XRP ledger. Dual advantages in the XRP ledger's programmability. Programmability on the XRP ledger will improve through two key developments. The introduction of native smart contract capabilities. Yes! That is what we need. And on the XRP Ledger mainnet, which is currently in research phase and will be the introduction on the EVM sidechain. Smart contracts. Guys, think about it. The reason Solana and Ethereum are doing so well is because they have thousands of people developing on their networks, right? On smart contracts. If the XRP has smart contracts, it's to Valhalla, baby. It is to Valhalla. And hey, will XRP be used on the X platform? Well, Elon Musk sends a lot of money to a lot of people through X platform. My account's not big enough to qualify. I wish more of you would come follow me on Twitter and participate in things I'm doing there. There's a link down in the description for that as well. But, you know, there's rumors going around that X will want XRP, right? It's cheap, it's efficient, it's quick, and it's the chosen one, in my personal opinion. I hope you found this valuable, guys. If you did, please send it to somebody you know. Like I said, I'm trying to go to the channel. We're almost at 30,000 subscribers thanks to people like you, and for the people that have been with me for so long. When I was getting 10 views, 50 views, 100 views, you know, a few years ago. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Even the new people that are just joining and are learning and are growing, my heart goes out to you. It really means a lot. Man, we're growing. We're almost to 30,000, and it's just an incredible journey to be here with you, going through this knowledge, and I can't wait to see what happens. Aloha. I'll see you next time. Peace.